3 months to move the needle on my creator business. Broken down into 12 tasks spread over 12 weeks. That felt like a tongue twister. As inspired by a tweet from Roberto Blake. I've never done a series on this channel, especially one that is more looking at my own journey as a creator and some of the decisions and moves I'm making. So I'm going to document this journey and hope that there are some lessons in it somewhere. Or maybe that you just enjoy seeing me struggle, I don't know. So let's back it up a bit, talking first about the inspiration behind this personal business challenge, why I'm doing this, and what some of my hypotheses are on how it will go. So I was scrolling through Twitter, or X as one does, and I came across this tweet from Roberto Blake, which says, do a 12-week sprint. Assign yourself 12 labors that will actually move the needle in the right direction. And then he goes on to list 12 different tasks as examples. And reading through them, I was extremely fired up because I'm somebody who needs a little bit of a box to operate. I've talked about this before, like when I first quit my day job to create content full-time, I was overwhelmed by not having any constraints for how I was operating. And so this idea of having some sort of task I had to work on every single week for the next 12 weeks was intriguing to me. So intriguing that I literally turned off my computer right then and there, took out a paper and pen and listed all 12 of his examples down and started brainstorming what it would look like for me to fulfill said tasks. And I'm really curious to see if doing this over the course of 3 months, if this will actually quote unquote move the needle on my business. And I think part of that is having to actually identify how I'm measuring this needle moving. And while I do think it is usually talking about money, I do think there's other, needle points that you can move. You could be looking at growth, deepening a sense of community, getting more signups on something, even having more positive comments saying that something really resonated. But because a lot of the tasks that Roberto listed do tend to be kind of focused around increasing income, I do think it's fair to be okay, that's the needle we're trying to move here. And that ties into a little bit of why I'm doing this. First and foremost, I have talked a lot on this channel about my goals to diversify my income. I think that, relying solely on brand deals, while can be very financially fulfilling, as has kind of been a trend in a lot of my recent videos, it does limit you in certain ways and box you in, and in a way can also restrict your creative freedom and can affect how authentic an audience perceives you to be. And I do think it has really been sitting on my heart lately that I want to strike more of a balance with my content. And a quick aside, if you are new here, I do have 2 different brands. So this one, Creating with Kea, is where I share more of my tips for content creators, the behind the scenes and discussions around what it's like to actually be a full-time creator and navigate this space. But where I actually do make most of my living is under my handle, Comfy Girl Curls, which may or may not be changing. I might be changing my handle name. I think I might be actually working it into this little 12-step plan I've got here. But that is a hair, beauty kind of lifestyle page where I do a lot of brand deals with hair care companies, lifestyle brands, skincare brands, etc. And so when I'm talking about brand deals, I will say for the most part, I'm talking about it on that other brand, primarily on Instagram. But when I'm talking about moving the needle on my business as a whole, it's really looking at my entire online identity, my online presence altogether, which includes those 2 brands. I do also really like the idea of doing a 3-month challenge because while nothing is confirmed, and I'm not gonna spill the tea just yet, I am looking at pivoting aspects of my business at around the 3-month mark. So I think that if I'm able to really set up my business the way I want it over the next 12 weeks, I think I will be a lot better positioned for this vague transition that might be happening around that time. And now for my hypothesis of how I think this is all going to go. So I wrote down the 12 tasks that Roberto Blake laid out, and I wrote them all in order. And I only realized after that he had said like example. These weren't necessarily supposed to be like your roadmap of tasks you were supposed to do in any particular order, but I took it that way and I think we're gonna run with that. And because of that, I think there are some things on this list that could maybe be more productive if they were like in a different order, but you know, where's the fun in that? Like we're gonna make it be a little bit random. So going in order, we have increase MRR or monthly recurring revenue / income. Week 2, create a new income stream. 3, improve existing skill significantly. 4, improve monetization of an existing asset. 5, help acquire a new skill. 6, grow and improve your network. 7, more social proof. Like I guess do a task that will get you more social proof. Number 8, a task that will make you more productive and focused. Number 9, increase passive income / start it. Number 10, become more capable, have more capacity. 11, automate things you dislike. And number 12, increase perceived value, whether that's the value that you have or like the value of maybe like your offer. And so reading that, some of them definitely like feel a little bit similar. Number 1 is to increase your like monthly income, and number 2 is to make a new income stream. And I feel like there could be some overlap there. Then we like go down to the bottom at number 9 and it says like increase your passive income. So yeah, definitely some of these might feel a little repetitive and will maybe refer back to each other. I don't really know how I'm gonna navigate that. I just definitely predict me maybe double dipping certain tasks based on how this is laid out. I also think that like realistically, some of these tasks aren't a one and done. Like if I create a new income stream in week 2, that is going to be a task for the most part that I'm like nurturing or like promoting or monitoring for like the remaining 10 weeks. So I don't know if this will really feel like I'm doing these isolated tasks perfectly in a single week, or if it's all gonna compound and I'm gonna feel like really overwhelmed by the end because I just added all these new things to my plate. So yeah, predicting a little bit of feeling pulled back and forth, predicting that I might get like really overwhelmed as things compound. But I am also predicting that this like kicks my butt to pull the trigger on a couple business moves that I've been meaning to do for a while. So in terms of sharing this content, I'm really torn between doing like 3 videos where I share an update every 4 weeks, or maybe I share an update every 2 weeks. Let me know what you would like to see. I do think this is going to be a little series with like a very niche audience. So if it's something you're interested in, definitely please speak up. But consider this challenge something that's kind of just getting sprinkled in. It's not something I'm gonna be updating on every single week. That way I can still kind of keep a lot of my normal content on this channel, even though I don't really even know what normal looks like for this channel anymore. I'll also walk you through like some of my brainstorming of like what potential tasks I could do for each of these 12, because a lot of different ones came to mind and I'm trying to figure out what will be the best for my audience, the best use of my time, and also again, what's going to move that needle. And I also wanted to add, I think I'm gonna do it a little bit vloggy style, truly trying to take you along for the journey. Let me know in the comments if you think this is just like a make work project, or if you think that there's some actual value in it, or if you want to join me on this adventure. That's it for now. Once the next month goes up, you can catch it here. Thanks for watching, and until next time.